Fedor Gorst just made an insane 3-rail kick shot. And I wanted to recreate it, but before I do, let's see why this shot is just so great. It's the final 16 of the Battle of the Bowl tournament, and Fedor Gorst is playing against Swang Kwok Huang. I don't know if I said that right, so I'm just gonna call him the Martian, because apparently his nickname is the Martian. Despite winning the lag, Gorst falls behind as the Martian cleans up the first rack and gets three break-and runs in a row. Gorst does his best to get back in it, but the Martian is on point and so are his breaks, because after winning a safety battle, he gets 2 more break-and runs to get him on the hill. He only needs 1 more game to win, and Fedor Gorst is out of the tournament. But not so fast, says Fedor, as he closes the gap just a little bit by getting a break-and run of his own. But his breaks are not on the same level as the Martian's today, and he breaks dry. The Martian pushes out and Fedor refuses the shot, so the Martian takes an aggressive jump shot attempt and misses, but gets super lucky, not giving Fedor an easy shot. Fedor does the smart thing and plays safe, but he hits the ball just a little too soft, and the Martian can still see the 1 ball. And I know this video is about Fedor Gorst's great 3-rail escape, but he didn't get locked up by accident. Let's take a moment and appreciate the absolute beauty of the Martian's safety shot. On a full table length shot, he perfectly hides the 1 ball behind the 5, preventing a jump escape, and he locks the cue ball up behind the 8 and the 4, preventing a 1-rail kick. This shot is a thing of beauty. However, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, because I guarantee you, Fedor does not think this is beautiful. With his tournament hopes on the line, the pressure knowing his opponent is shooting lights out, he knows he cannot miss. And that's when Fedor Gorst does this.
No way. No way.
He pulls off an absolutely spectacular 3-rail kick and gets this reaction from the commentators.
They are the best 2 shots in a row I think I've ever seen.
But how spectacular is this shot really? Because I noticed that the cue ball kicking path follows a 2-rail kicking system path that I taught on my own YouTube channel. And if a hobbyist can do it, it can't be that cool, right? Right? I wanted to see for myself if it was just as easy to add 1 more rail to this kicking system, or if there was more to it than that. So I went to Surge Billiards in Chicago to plan a 9-foot table to best recreate this shot and see what I can learn. Here Fedor Gorst does a 3-rail kick to make this 1 ball. He's hooked behind the 4 ball. He's got to make this 1 ball all the way down here. And I know a 2-rail kick system that can actually help us make that 3-rail kick. So let's count it out, because we can count the diamonds to find our aiming point to make this work, so we're not just guessing. To find the point where we want to aim, we're kicking from this rail down to the 1 ball by this rail. We start counting from this pocket. This is 0, and we count the diamonds by 10s. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and the pocket there is 80. We then have to count the short rail to find out where we're going to aim to on the short rail. And to do that, we start in this pocket. Here we start by 10s. So this here is 10. We then count half diamonds by 10s. So here is 20, this is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. And now all we have to do is find a line where the 2 points on either side of this line add up to the number we're trying to hit down this rail. So if you look at the video, you'll see that Fedor Gorst is aiming about here. And to me, that looks like 55. And if you actually look at him lining up, you can see the cue is kind of going over this diamond here. I'd say that's about 30. And he's aiming about there. That's about 25. Now, if Fedor Gorst was or wasn't using this system got us to the same point to hit the line here. And for this system to work, we have to use running English. So we're going to hit top of the cue ball, and we're going to use left, because here the cue ball is bouncing off this rail to the left. And with using this system and knowing how to get to at least here, let's see if I'm actually able to repeat the shot and make the 1 ball into that corner pocket. So here again, same line, we have 30, and this is 25, so that's going to get us to 55 here to hopefully hit the 1 ball. All right, so attempt 1, I'm excited, and let's forget about that one. Actually, not quite. I learned a few things here. 1 was that the 3 ball was in the wrong place, and 2, I need to hit the cue ball much harder. On attempt 2, I hit right at the 55 point we counted out with the system, and it goes long. On attempt 3, I don't put enough running English on the cue ball, and it misses even further under the 1 ball. Attempt 4, I learn nothing from the previous shot and do the same thing. So on attempt 5, I put more English on it, but I still miss under the 1 ball. Moving the cue ball to the correct spot for the recreate didn't help on attempt 6. Since I've gone long every time, on attempt 7 I switched my aiming point from 55 to 50 out of frustration, and I hit the 1 ball! Thank you, I know, I truly am the best pool player ever. Thank you. Attempt 8, I forgot what I learned on the last attempt, and I miss under the 1 ball. Again. After only hitting the 1 ball 1 out of 8 times, Roberto, Chicago's finest pool player, came in to save me with a couple of celeb shots. First, he hit the 5 ball. And then he hits the 5 ball again. Since Roberto never misses, we decided that I had the balls in the wrong spot. Am I just missing the shot? No, it's the pool balls that are wrong. Besides just moving the ball, I realized that I also need to take into account how my table is completely different than the one Fedor is playing on. While on attempt 7 I changed my aiming point kind of out of frustration, now I realize that by taking these different table conditions into consideration, I'll need to actually change my aiming point. So now again, I aim at 50. And I still miss under the 1 ball. But it's getting closer. Attempt 12 also goes just long. One thing I noticed is that the cue ball has been dropping under the 1 ball each time, and it looks like the top spin is actually pulling the cue ball down. So instead of the cue ball coming off on a natural angle, the exit angle of the cue ball widens off the 3rd rail. Luckily, I think this can be solved if I start hitting the cue ball with a little bit less top. Now, I want to test my theory. Attempt 13, I get so close, but that's not a good hit. I hit the 5 ball first. That's ball in hand. And likely a loss of match. But at least it looks like my theory works. On attempt 14, I aim too far up table around the 45 and hit the 9 ball. Let's just forget about that one. Attempt 15, I move my aiming point back closer to about 48, and I hit the 5 again. Attempt 16, I shift my aiming point to 50, hit it with good pace and proper English.
There we go! Woo! And that is how you make a 3-rail kick by using the 2-rail kick system. You just take 20 tries, 20 takes. That's all that matters. Nobody saw the other ones, right? Let's go. Listen, Fedor, you saw me play pool. I challenge you, Chicago, $1, 9-to-1 race. I have to win one game. That's how that goes.
So what did we learn? First, you need to hit the cue ball hard enough so that way it has enough pace to make it around 3 rails and make contact with the object ball so it has enough speed to actually make it to the pocket. Second, on the 3rd rail of the kick, the top spin may cause the cue ball to fall down the original line. So you need to hit with less top or stun to ensure that the cue ball always has a more true angle on the exit of that 3rd rail. And lastly, this truly was an absolute spectacular kick by Gorst. Sure, it's doable here with no stakes and as many tries as I want, but in a match, under pressure, to pull this off when your back is against the wall, that's a work of art. And if you want to see how this match concludes, go check out the video on Railbirds TV. I have a link of the original video in the description. Go support them for making pro pool matches accessible.
If you thought that was cool and you want to learn a 2-rail kicking system, I know I struggled a little bit on this table, but I've got another video that teaches a very consistent 2-rail kicking system that'll help you make maybe not a 3-rail kick all the time, but it will definitely help you make 2-rail kicks, get contacts, gets out of safeties, and that way you won't be giving your opponent ball in hand when you're in the middle of a match. And while being stuck here on the pool table may not be fun, being in this pool hall is a lot of fun. We are at Surge Billiards here in Chicago, and I just want to say thank you for letting us film here so that way we can create this Fedor Gorst shot. If you're ever in Chicago, check out Surge Billiards in Montrose or in Irving Park. You'll have a great time. Please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, keep taking your hobbies too seriously. I think I made contact with the 1 ball twice.